Am I the asshole for expecting my boyfriend to pay rent if he moves in with me? Original post on May 22, 2023. This is a doozy. I've been dating Josh for a year. I should say now that I, 24 years old, don't ever want to be legally married. And Josh, 30, is divorced and doesn't want to remarry. We also live in a place where there is no common law marriage. Still, we want to take things a bit further and we're talking about Josh and his 2 daughters moving in with me. I own a 3-bed 2 house in a nice area. Josh rents a 2-bed 1-bath apartment. And his lease is coming up. My mortgage is $1,000 a month, and Josh's rent is $1.4K a month. It was important to me that we would have everything figured out before making the change, so that there would be no surprises or disagreements about who pays what. I figured it would be unreasonable for Josh to expect to just live with me for free, especially since I'd be giving up one of my rooms so his daughters could have a room. I suggested that Josh pay $700 a month to me in rent, half of what he is currently paying. I would cover the cost of any home repairs, internet, garbage, etc. Then we would split utilities. Even though there's 3 of them and 1 of me, I don't mind splitting since that would be about what I'm currently paying, I predict. And since I meal prep once a week, I would just get my own groceries and he could get theirs. When I laid everything out, Josh was very unhappy and said since it's my house he shouldn't have to pay rent and that we should split groceries. I told him he was welcome to buy his own house and I would move in with him and happily pay rent while renting out my own house. He was mad at me because he said he's not in a position where he can buy a house. We can't come to an agreement, so I suggested he just find another apartment. The owners aren't letting him renew, and we could revisit the topic in a year. He's not happy with that either because rent prices have skyrocketed here and 2 bedrooms now go for around $1.8K a month, and he thinks he won't be able to find a place he can afford. I'm a bit frustrated because I feel like $700 a month is a really good deal compared to the likely $1,800 he will have to pay. Since we aren't going to get married or anything, I don't understand why he thinks I would be okay with him living for free with his 2 kids. I'm happy to have romance and companionship, but shared assets and finances are not something I want in life. I don't want to support a man. Am I the asshole for expecting my boyfriend to pay rent? Edit. I showed Josh this post and he thinks you all are wrong. So here's some input from him. Leslie makes $120K a year and I make $30K a year. I'm living paycheck to paycheck supporting 2 kids with no help from my ex-wife. It's gotten so expensive here that at this rate I'm not even going to be able to feed my kids soon without going to the food bank. No matter what, they're going to get fed. But it's not fair that she owns a house and can go on vacations or spend $400 a month getting her hair done when I can't even buy my kids name brand cereal. She shouldn't charge me to live with her because she should understand that I want to be able to spend whatever I can giving my kids the childhood that they deserve. Not for me, but for them. Just 2 hours later. Update. Thanks Reddit. Oh, you won and I'm glad I posted here. After a very loud and angry argument with Josh, I broke up with him despite pretty much everyone telling him he was wrong. Josh insisted that I should basically support the 3 of them because it's what would be best for his kids. He doesn't seem to understand that they aren't my kids and no one is going to want to bankroll the 3 of them, at least no one with a brain. The point is, I'm young, good-looking, I own a house. I can do better than a broke single dad who has no education and a shitty job who thinks it's okay to mooch off me and scream in my face when I tell him no. Hope your next girlfriend is stupid enough to put up with you, Josh. No wonder your ex-wife left. My boyfriend of 4 years has been cheating for 6 months. Post on May 14, 2023. He and I are both 24 years old. So I'm on mobile and this is all very fresh, so I apologize for any spelling errors or formatting issues. Basically what the title says, I woke up yesterday to a text from the other woman. She found my Facebook telling me everything. She didn't know I even existed, but as soon as she learned he had a girlfriend, she came right to me. I was just fucking sick. I kept telling myself this couldn't be real, that my baby wouldn't do this to me, that he loves me. But it was all true. She showed me the evidence and when I confronted him he didn't even try to deny it, just made some lame-ass excuses like I was depressed. And we had common interests. This piece of shit laid in bed next to me every night, reassuring me that I was loved and he wouldn't ever hurt me. I've been so insecure for weeks now that something was gonna happen, that things in my life never stay good this long. Well, I was sure as shit right. He was doing us both in the same day just to try to keep up his lies. Now both the other woman and I have to get STD tests cause I don't believe him when he says we were the only ones. I don't know how to move on from this. I kicked him out and I won't be taking him back, but how do I ever learn to trust again? He was my entire world. Every aspect of my life is tainted by his memory. If someone who had dedicated himself to me for so long would do this, then how can I trust someone I just met? I don't even have many guy friends cause he was too insecure. I had to be ultra modest and couldn't really hang out with guys. I don't even like the way I look anymore because all I see is how the other woman is prettier, skinnier, has a flat belly. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. Post 2 on the same day. I am pissed to say the least, also on mobile, sorry for any spelling errors or formatting issues. But yeah, 4 years, an entire life built together, just gone like that because he had to get his dick wet. He didn't even have a good excuse, just I'm depressed. And we had common interests. It's honestly pathetic. I can't believe I loved this man. He had everyone fooled about what kind of vile trash he actually is. Now I have to get all his shit out of my house, find a new job since he convinced me to quit mine, and start over. I'm just so numb. It doesn't feel real yet. Honestly, all cheaters deserve every kind of hell that comes their way. Grow a pair and just be honest. Don't traumatize someone the way he did me, because now I have to figure out how to trust someone all over again. I guess joke's on him though, both the side piece and I agree that he sucks in bed lol. Edit. The other woman is the one who told me, by the way. She is actually very sweet and I believe her when she says she didn't know about me. To be honest, I think she hates him more than I do. Update posted on May 23, 2023. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all the love and support I received in the comments. All the amazing comments really helped me with knowing I made the right choice. It's been a little over a week now since I kicked him out now, and I have some new updates. My ex and his mother came to pick up his stuff the day after while I was with my own mom. I still feel awful that his mom had to spend Mother's Day moving all his crap out of my house. Since then, all communication has been through her. She's come over a few times to grab things he left, and we've had a good time just talking. We were always close, and she is 100% on my side in this. Honestly, I think she is angrier at her son than I am. As for me, well, I'm doing really good. I just got a new job today, and I start on Thursday. Fingers crossed I'll be able to be completely independent of him in the next month. I've been slowly cleaning the house after he left it a disaster. His old office was the absolute worst. He just left piles of trash in the corner for me to deal with. I feel like I owe my trash guys some cookies or something for the amount of crap they hauled away. But the biggest update of all is that I've started seeing someone new. My new boyfriend is so amazing. I can't believe he's real sometimes. We have been friends for almost a year now, and he's been my biggest supporter through my breakup. There was some mutual attraction, but we kept our distance due to me being in a relationship. I didn't even intend to start dating again so soon, but I just fell head over heels for him. We're taking things slow right now. I still need to heal, and he's perfectly fine with that. Although, to be honest, it feels like the best revenge to be seeing a new guy who treats me like an absolute princess while having my ex still pay my bills. I realize now just how abusive my ex was. I always told myself that because he never hit me and supported me through my mental health struggles that he couldn't be abusive. But the more distance I get, the more I wipe every trace of him from my home, the more I realize how much I lived in fear of him. I lied so much to the people I loved just so no one knew who he really was. If he was in a bad mood, he would just pick at me and try to hurt me. I was his bing maid, and nothing else. He spent all his time away from me, locked in his office, and I'm not the only one he treated badly. The change in my dog is absolutely insane. It's like he's a new animal. I worry now what was really going on when I wasn't around. I never knew my dog was so playful. I always assumed he was just lazy. Turns out he loves to play and bark and just be a dog without a grown man screaming at him. So yeah, life is going really well. I go to get the STD test done in an hour and a half. So I'll make a small update on this post when I get the results. Edit. So I'm seeing a lot of people accusing me of having an emotional affair in the comments, which I totally understand given the information I provided. Firstly, he lives 11 hours away and we have never even met in person. When I say we had a thing for each other, I don't mean we had feelings for each other or even a crush. We both thought the other was good looking but drew a hard line when it came to flirting or anything like that. If we hung out in a voice channel, it was only in a group, and our DMs were exclusively asking if the other was joining the group for games, something I still do to my other friends. I was admittedly checked out of my relationship for a while, but that was after the cheating started and he became distant. I worked a lot and really didn't do much else aside from play games online with friends like once a week. I totally understand if people still feel like I had an emotional affair. I just wanted to add some more context. Figured an edit would be easier than replying to individual comments. Edit. Okay, I'm sick of explaining this over and over. Whether you think I had an emotional affair or not is whatever. But I was not checked out of my relationship. I was actively trying to fix things with my now ex up until the moment I learned he fucked another woman. Do not try to sit here and tell me that my choice to start dating my friend is equal to the constant lies and gaslighting my ex put me through. This man sat there and held me while I cried about how scared I was to lose him. He told me over and over that he loved me, that I was just paranoid, that he would never cheat on me. He cared more about getting laid, and mind you, we had a very active sex life, than he did about being faithful to someone he made a commitment to. How can you even think that me finding my friend's voice attractive, a friend mind you that I was never even alone with, is just as bad or the reason he cheated? True emotional affairs are awful. They're just as painful as cheating. I made sure every step of the way that I never crossed that line. I was respectful, I was loyal, and I never said anything that could even be registered as flirting until after my ex and I broke up. My ex was a horrible abusive piece of shit. There are holes in the walls of my home because of him. I get scared anytime my dog bothers someone to play with him because I'm worried my pup is going to get yelled at. I spent 4 years on eggshells because of him. Don't fucking pity him or tell me that his cheating and abuse is my fault. I met my now boyfriend is August of 2022. I had been with my ex since December of 2018. So please keep telling me that his behavior was because of a so-called emotional affair. Edit clarified some statements that seemed to be confusing people.